Okay,
Please be seated over there. Quit trying to take the show.
mics on, everybody. You guys got mics? Mics? Okay. Meeting will come to order. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I know we have a few people that aren't here today for good reason. How about roll call? You want to start with Gary?
Gary Rattle. Mark Sanders.
Kelly Pencil O'Keefe. Carrie Russell.
Charles Hasdell.
Cindy Lewis.
Jeff Weingart?
Vito Giordino.
Just Chipley Trudeau.
Thank you. Certify the posting of the meeting?
I certify that, excuse me, on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, the agenda for the Town of Rome Ad Hoc Solar Farm Committee meeting for Tuesday, November 4th was posted at Rome Town Hall at 11:06 a.m., posted at Quick Trip LLC 11:20 a.m., posted at Nakusa Port Edward State Bank at 11:15 a.m., and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 11:40 a.m.
Thank you, Cindy. I believe everybody has a copy of the agenda. I would like to have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda is approved. The next item is the meeting minutes from the last meeting of October 16th. Does that sound right to you? No, it was 22nd. That's on the agenda is wrong. It's 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd.
Okay, hopefully everybody's had a chance to go review all that. Need a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. So let's get into today's meeting. This is more of a follow-up from last week, just to see what has happened or what is about to happen or any news. So why don't we go around the room if anybody's got anything to add? We can start with Vito. Anything?
No, I was just surprised that it's going to be, the meeting's going to be at the community center. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, you can speculate all you want. I don't know.
Well, it makes no sense. It's smaller and it's a ways from here, so it's not convenient and it's a smaller venue.
I mean, the only thing I'm thinking, and I'm trying to be, neutral, because our town is known as Nakusa. They probably saw there's a community center, and they've chose the community center not knowing we are a separate entity than the city of Nakusa. That's the only thing I could come up with. I'm hoping, unless it was some, devious play here.
Does anyone know what the capacity of the community center?
300. And it just,
What is it
heads up, I did notify Stan. We sent a letter to the judge asking for a change of venue for several reasons. One was distance. Two, it's only 300 here. We can take 500 in a room. We can also have overflow in here. And we told them too, we have over 1,700 signatures on the petition. We expect more than they can handle there. So waiting to hear back from what the judge has to say. So we have filed a change of venue. We did that day. As soon as I heard that, it went out that day.
Good, thank you.
Well, and I kind of agree, Vito, what you said, that when you see our address is Nakusa. However, the thing that I'm glad that you did that was because they've already held a meeting here. I
No,
don't
not
know
the
why.
PSC.
PSC hasn't. Yeah.
No, but Akron has.
Okay.
Akron, not the PSC. Because remember, if they're just picking by locale,
Yeah.
we're Nakusa.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, we don't have a post office, so we share everything with Nakusa.
Right. Well, that's our mailing address, right?
Right,
Okay.
so subsequently,
Got it.
okay, I'm hoping that's what it was. I hope it was not something devious here.
Did they give us a timeline about when we would hear back, maybe perhaps? No? Okay.
Do we
I
think
thought- well,
the judge is even looking at his email from somebody he doesn't know, or does?
Well, he said judges don't like the changes on there, but I think we made a pressing argument. The thing was, I told Stan too, it was urgent because we want to get postcards out in this, and time's coming up.
Now, which county we looking at, Adams or Wood? Because that's Wood County.
Yeah, it's
We're Adams
That's
County.
another point.
yeah.
Because, no, it's going to make a point, because how can you sit back and make an injunction and it's in a different
Well,
county?
it's not an injunction. It's just it's a judge. I don't know if whatever judge he applied it to, it might be a administrative law judge,
Oh,
that's
I
my
thought,
guess.
I thought it was a county court.
No,
a county
no.
Oh,
judge.
it's probably
Administrative
an
law.
ALJ, yep.
Yeah, wouldn't be a regular judge.
Okay, my bad.
Okay. Jess, anything on your end?
I got one reply from the letters, well, that I sent out, and it's kind of,
Oh, from Teston, huh?
yeah, but,
Would you like to read it to us?
sure.
I'm sure your mic's on.
It's on. There you
It's
go.
on, okay.
Just,
As your state senator, I appreciate you writing to share your thoughts on the Akron Solar Project, currently pending approval in the towns of Rome and Saratoga. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why they're thinking for the other issue we were just talking about of going there in a different county because of Saratoga. I don't know, but that's beside the point. But anyway,
Saratoga.
isn't part of Saratoga in Wood County?
I know, but this project has nothing to do with Saratoga.
Well,
You're
supposedly,
getting more battery storage.
yeah, it goes over the county line.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, my bad.
I digress. I get distracted easily. Squirrel. Utility projects such as the one in question are subject to approval by the Wisconsin Public Service Commission, or PSC.
Duh.
The PSC operates as an independent agency and is not overseen by the state legislature. While I understand and can appreciate your concerns with the potential ramifications of this project, its approval process does not rely on the vote of the state legislature. The process begins with public information meetings organized by the applicant. Next, the construction case is officially kicked off when the developer files an application, which would include information regarding the need, cost, size, and location of the proposed project. Upon receiving the application, the PSC informs the public via a notification letter to all property owners on or near the potential site, as well as local government officials, media, and other interested persons. This letter was sent on May 13th, and an updated notification was mailed on June 6th. Subsequently, the PSC must prepare an environmental assessment operation of an EIS are expected if this project were constructed using some combination of the proposed array sites and project facilities. Copies of the EA are available at request either by phone or by email, and I'll pass this around or get it copied if you want the numbers. The Akron Solar Project is still awaiting scheduled hearing sessions, 2 of which are open to public input. They are both scheduled to take place on December 3rd. To participate or observe, follow below directions from the main PSC website, and then it tells how to click the services and all. Do not hesitate to reach out to my office with any additional questions or concerns at sin.teston@legis.wisconsin.gov. Regards, Senator Patrick Teston. So
Looking like a true politician.
every word,
So there was nothing basically in there that we didn't already know.
exactly, and that we haven't already been
I don't
responding to
understand
dealing with.
why the environmental impact study is not.
No, especially, well, the packet that, last time that we got run off, the packet has some wording in it that it's like they should be doing more, and they shouldn't, but we know that. But they know that too, I think, and it's rather frustrating. Especially getting, one letter like this. I mean, I sent out 7, so I'm glad I got one. Hey.
You got a
One out of
response.
7 ain't bad.
That's actually a pretty good return, so.
So,
For a politician, yeah.
Gary, anything on your end?
I'm good, Jeff.
I brought an article from Wisconsin Agriculture on solar power, if anybody wants to read it. And then I brought, friends of ours were approached with their land in Rome, and they were made an offer, and I gave that to Carl. It's been a while, but I asked if we could have it, but
I'll make up
He wants to
copies and
see
get it
that.
out, yeah.
Yeah.
How much did they offer them? And for what?
Well, not sure the timing, but the final number is, and this is 80 acres, right?
I think it's 80 acres.
$5,217,000 over,
How much?
$5,217,000 over
They
until a
offering
period
to
of
buy the
time.
land, or are they offering to lease the land?
Oh,
or-
It's
I
a
can't
lease.
really understand.
It is a lease, yes. But it's kind of vague. They got all these different options. Oh, that's
With
per
that,
acre.
is that the
That's
25-year lifespan?
$3,200? That's an acre, yeah.
Yeah.
How much?
Well, the first year option payment's $3,200 per acre.
So that's a lease, that's not a lot, that, they don't want
The
to.
second year option payment is
No, they want
$3,200 every year.
For that.
And that's for 25 years.
I don't know how many years. It's got
Well,
60 periods on here, so
We're
I don't
talking
know.
$5 million, you said?
Yeah, it's $5 million. I don't know how many years though. 'Cause it's got 60 payment periods, so I don't know what the periods are. I'll play with it and figure it
What
out.
did they say they wanted to use it for?
Oh, it's not in here.
Yeah, that's not in there.
Did,
Most of it was verbal, but I asked her.
So
if she
you don't
could
know
send
whether
that
they're
to
gonna
me.
put panels on it, expand their farm, or use
or
it
the
as.
right of way like
as-
Gary's
Yeah,
buddy, he knew.
wow.
80 acres, 5 million,
Well, if we're looking at it right.
right.
Yeah. Well, the numbers are there.
Buddy got screwed.
Well, I got 40 acres, I'll sell them for $2.5 million.
Do you have another copy? I'll look at it, because I worked with Elise on
Okay, good.
on solar projects.
Yeah, this is,
And I
it's
can
an
reach
odd
out to
one.
them, too.
Wait,
Well, it's not
can I
their,
ask you what
it's
part
not
of
their
Rome
money,
it's
you
in?
know. When they sell the solar farm.
You know what, it is 32
over.
years. It's for 32 years. They're looking at $1,000 an acre, per acre for 32 years. So that's their acreage payment, but. again,
1,000 per acre per month?
No, it doesn't say. No, it's per year.
Well, 80,000 times 32 years.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, go
di-
ahead.
you know.
There's probably kickers in there too. Okay.
Solar companies are paying.
Thank you for that, Lori. Anything else?
No.
Aaron?
Well, I was just telling her, I know that some of these solar companies are paying way more than $1,000 per acre to lease the properties. You know, they're looking at either $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, so $1,000 per acre is probably low. You know, if they're trying to compensate somebody, but, you know, you don't know what you don't know, so.
Carrie, how many acres was your buddy?
It was 125, I believe.
125 acres for
He
360,000.
paid 100 and, what do you say, 124? He got 360
That was for easement though, right?
for just the easement.
Yeah.
But they made the easement bigger.
So can he
And they
grow,
went
can he
to
grow
his
crops on that?
business
They just might
Where
wipe
we used
them
to
out?
live 4 times. He kicked them out 3 times. And the 4th time, he said, what do you do?
Yeah.
Well, it's, you know, everybody has a price kind of philosophy for these solar companies, right?
But
So,
all his neighbors gave already, he was the only one holding out. And after we had our first meeting here, I called him to see where he was at on it, and he said they took us all out, wined us and dined us, and he said I had my attorney with me and signed the papers.
Okay, Carl, you're up. You got a lot, don't you?
Not this time, not as much. The testimonials, testimony, I did send that to all the media outlets. Let them know what was in there and told them to read through, especially the ones from the town. I thought like Emily and Mark, and there were some very good comments in there. So it's, hopefully that's some helpful.
Did anybody read those
I read them all.
besides me?
Yeah,
I didn't read the whole list, but I read the town ones, and then I
read all
kind of
the town
cherry
ones.
picked a few of the ones, and I was appalled at some of the statements that they made under oath.
Yeah, talking to Stan on the whole thing, he was happy with what we produced. He thought it was a lot more than he's ever seen before. I don't know if that increases our chances. I hope it does.
Who's he?
He's our attorney.
Oh, our attorney.
So what happens to those testimonies were made under oath? That they're like affidavits or what? Or are they?
Yeah, and we'll have 2 more times to rebut. If they try and rebut anything on the testimony, we can go back again on them.
Are we rebutting anything that they said? Because
Yes.
I saw.
Oh, yeah.
I saw quite a bit of stuff in there that I didn't agree with.
The other thing, well, yeah, and like when they said they don't need to do the environmental impact study, they did acknowledge that there's species in the area. So he said, if we want to continue, because I asked him, I said, if we lose, what's the options? He said, well, you now have cause for action. So we can sue them if we lose and drag it out. We can hit them on a lawsuit for not doing the environmental impact, not following through on the species. Just start hitting them with one suit after the other, you know. And
The PSC.
yes, well, both, all of them. You sue them all.
We can sue the PSC.
You can, yeah, but you hit them all.
Who would we sue?
Everybody.
PSC,
Akron, Nextera, anybody involved with it. The people that did the testimonies, I mean, you bring them all in there and let the court figure out who's who. So he did say we had cause. I said, okay. I said, what I intend to do is we have our annual meeting in November for the budget. We also have the annual meeting in April. So I'll bring it up to the folks in the town and say, you know, what do you want to do? Stan's going to work on a budget for us and let us know what the cost might be, could be. And we won't know more until after December 3rd. So it would be more like the April meeting. We'll hopefully have some numbers and tell the people, okay, we lost this part. What do you want to do? Here's the cost if we want to pursue it. So we'll involve the town. I mean, it's not a decision I think we should make because it's a serious one. So we'll go that route. You were asking about share of revenue. We will be getting share of revenue. I don't know how that's figured out yet, and he's not sure either. So we'll be working on that.
Need to ask for more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're
The
gonna.
bonds.
Yeah.
One for insurance and for a fire, and one for.
Yeah. There's a couple other things. One, cleanup costs at the end of 30 years. That's very vague. That would have to be specified. And again, I throw things out there to see if they stick. And I thought, well, we can't tell them they can't use trucks on our roads, but son of a gun, why don't we put a 5-mile-an-hour limit on any trucks over four tons? We have access. That we can do. They can't do anything.
Park a cop there.
Huh?
Park a cop.
You betcha. You know, 5 miles, you're limited. Cement trucks.
You know what was the most frustrating to me was the DNR interaction with this environmental report. So for those of you that may or may not have read this thing, basically the DNR relied entirely on reports that were created by a third party and took them to be gospel. In other words, nobody from the DNR showed up out there.
No.
They talk about the fact that that the construction is going to happen in the wintertime when, for example, the butterfly isn't around. But the interesting thing about that is, okay, so let's just say you mow all that down starting in November. You can't force the lupines to grow, so there's a place for the butterflies to be in the spring.
Yeah.
So that's going to take a year, and they're talking about how those are going to grow up and maybe even improve the population. They're all going to be gone at the end of that first year. They're all going to be gone because there's not going to be any place for them to be, and that surprises me. And then the DNR talks about the incidental take. Okay, incidental take is when you run over something on the road because you can't get out of the way fast. Not when you mow down 2,000 acres. That's not incidental. That's you know, I start reading some of the stuff and I get mad and I go.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that gave us reason we have a cause for action is they didn't do any field studies here. They relied on studies done by others when they did the pipeline area. So there was nothing done on the field here by anybody in particular. So they're using bad data in our opinion. It wasn't worthwhile. Plus, when you're looking at 2,000 acres versus the couple hundred acres they used for the pipeline going to different areas, it was way out of whack. So that does give us cause. And then the incidental taking part, I believe the DNR only has authority as far as the DNR or Wisconsin's endangered species. U.S. Fish and Wildlife will tell them no. They don't give them incidental takings, as far as I know. And
The
DNR
government
can't.
shut down. They're not getting involved yet.
No, yeah, right. I mean, yeah, same thing. I got no response from them too. So, The other thing too, do a little more research on it. We got that information from, I think it was your buddy Terry Sack.
Yeah, Terry.
About lead batteries, and again, starting looking at it, they're setting aside, and I know I mentioned it before, they're setting aside 12 acres, even with a 100-foot setback. I'm trying to figure out how much lead is in there, because burning lead is very toxic, and there's just nothing. They've done nothing as far as we can tell. And again, if you saw the notes, they had a fire this year and a fire last year in California. One burned for 7 days. The one in the east went for 4 days. I mean, they're just irresponsible. So, got more to pursue on that. I don't know on the December 3rd meeting. Again, we'll see where that ends up, but we will let the media know. Make sure they're there one way or the other.
Are we able to specify the footage of setback that we want, the buffer?
They're saying
Versus what they're
well,
telling us they're gonna do, we should tell them what we want.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might be negotiable on a joint development agreement when you start getting to that point, if we get to that point. But they're suggesting 30 to 50 foot. But again, they lie. You look at, and I hope they're listening, but they lie. You go up to Saratoga, there's no setback. I mean, it's just plain nonsense. They're
Right there
they're
on the
just,
road.
yeah. And again, I'm not sure the structure of the meeting on December 3rd, but I have no problem telling the PSC people that they're just being hoodwinked by these clowns. So, I'm done.
And we have facts on that.
Yeah, oh, pictures. Yeah.
Tim, we were going around the room. Did you have anything? I know you had a couple emails.
Oh, I don't know, did you talk about, we're gonna be talking to Lynn Markham from UW?
I forgot.
No. Skip me, or if I didn't, just, yeah, so,
We have
Contacted her,
scheduled Friday meet. The other thing too, we didn't talk, who did we talk to over there? It wasn't Lynn. Somebody else at UW Madison, actually, that young lady. Is that her? I mean, some of the things we've already done, we've,
Yeah.
intervention, but that's already done, and stuff like that. But if anything else they got that's new, yeah.
Right.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say, based on her emails, it sounded like, she was even willing to show us how to use PSC's website. Well, I think everybody's probably pretty familiar with how to use that and where to find the information. But she still might have something
Yeah.
to offer
Yeah.
that would be useful. Who knows? She's the land use specialist at UW Madison. And I don't know who was at the,
Who did we talk to?
I don't know who
Is she
was-
stationed here in Rapids?
Well, no, I don't know. We just had her on the big screen for Board of Appeals training too. I think that was it. I think it was her that had the training information. That's what Emily uses.
Mark and I went and
don't
talked
know who
to,
else.
we talked to, she was water, and she dealt with solar farms, but she was stationed at the Wood County Health Department out of Madison. Yeah.
Oh, now I remember.
Remember when the date was? That was
No.
2 months ago? Oh, crap. There's a lot here to look through. Remember, was it a Wednesday, or do you remember? Tuesday? Yeah, okay. Anyway.
It sounds like she's in Stevens Point, but she's Division of the Extension for UW.
Okay. Cindy, anything on your end?
Nope, nothing that was not already said, so.
I still haven't gotten a response back from Van Orden's office. I suspect
Jennifer McNeely.
that they're, because the government shut down, I suspect those people are all not working, but I don't know. It's hard to know.
Throw one more in there. I did get Cody followed up on wellhead protection. So we're going to schedule a meeting with a specialist. He actually was going to come out here. We're going to talk to him about a wellhead protection zones and see where else we need wells in the area. One of them for sure was over by Walden, and then other ones. And sure enough, we cannot support Walden with the current system, so we would need a new well. So we're going to maybe at least plan to plop some wells in and get some zones going. So I got to call that guy too. Yeah. Now I'm done.
Would that have to be in the works before they,
It's future planning. I mean, again,
I mean, I would think that anything that has a date on it of like July
Not
or later
retali-
is.
yeah, but
could
it's
be
not
suspect.
retaliation, it's just planning, proper planning for water for these people. So I don't think it would apply at all.
And is there any danger of any runoff from that going into the 14 mile?
Yes?
Is
They
that
identif-
documented by somebody? or no?
Yeah, on Waite, I think the guy's name was, one of their testimonies, he did say they ran across some streams, which I didn't see on there. I looked at every map in detail. I couldn't find any water, but there are some. There's one stream coming in on D just before the cranberry bogs, and I think it's coming in from a different direction. It's hardly any runoff in there, but you never know. So they did say there's streams in there somewhere. So.
Well, that's by the cranberry bogs on D. That's right where 14 mile starts.
Yeah, but this is further. Let's see which direction is it? West from there.
Okay,
So
interesting. Okay. I don't have anything else. It's been pretty slow in terms of, I think, with the government being shut down, I think there's a lot of people that aren't doing a lot of stuff right now. And
what else is new?
yeah, and we get a letter like from Teston. At least Scott showed up for the meeting. Even though I don't think he's done anything.
They did the proposal that's out there too, and I sent a note to Vinny, I think in this case, about the legislation that's going through now, but it won't do us any good.
When do we think that we're, if at all, when do we think we're going to hear back from the judge about the change of venue? Because if we got to send postcards out, we need to send those postcards out by middle of November.
Yeah, I was going to mention too, we got to put it on the agenda for next week to
And it's
get the
already,
funding
what,
out there for it.
4th or 5th
Yeah.
today?
Today's
So-
the 4th, but
So I think it was like around $3,000 for the last mailing, somewhere on there total. So we'll have to talk to the board and get that approved.
so we really can't
I-
send
I-
those
I-
out though until we know where the meeting's
Exactly.
Yes and no. I mean, you can send it out and say, look at this, look here for the, if we have to.
We're gonna have to. And,
Yeah, I did let them know though, but
Well, we ought to be able to get an answer out of them, not a no answer. There should be a
Yeah.
yes or no or go pack sand, but I mean,
yeah.
there needs to be an answer to the request so we can make plans. And are they willing to postpone a decision based on the fact that the government shut down and all like the U.S. Fish and Wildlife is not operating right now? I mean, like everybody else. Are they willing to postpone that decision until those people have a chance to look at it?
I don't know. I mean, we could approach them from that point of view. The thing is, Stan did say, though, that we might look for a postponement simply because of the migration patterns won't be effective until spring. So that might be a possibility. Again, you're dealing with 3 people who really aren't qualified to make those kind of decisions, but whatever. It is what it is.
What's the timeline right now? I mean, we got December 3rd, we got the PSC coming.
They say they make a decision after that hearing, but they don't say how much time.
Okay, and then what happens after that?
And then it's a done deal.
And they're looking at the fourth quarter of 2026 to start construction. However, we do close our roads down in the winter for heavy traffic, so I don't think they're aware of that at all. And that's a county thing.
Okay, so now think about that statement.
Yeah.
If we close our roads down, how are they going to decimate 2,000 acres in the wintertime to preserve the butterflies that aren't going to be around in the spring?
Right. Yeah, they haven't done a whole lot of planning.
oh,
So you're thinking, this is the end all right here on the 3rd?
No. We still have action in court if we decide to go that route.
Okay.
So that being a state agency, who has the ability to issue an injunction? Would that have to be a circuit court, or would that be a federal?
It wouldn't be federal, it'd probably be any district court. Could be Adams County here even.
Just gotta find one.
Yeah, we can see if our judge here will do it on a Wednesday.
Has there been any?
There you go.
That's,
Yeah, there you go.
Thibodeau? Yeah. Mark?
There been any other contact with the other towns?
Yeah, I've been in contact with Lori up in
Morgan?
Morgan. Yeah, she's She's fighting them still. She was trying to get on our calls here. I didn't put her on this one, but she has
They
been.
at in their process.
She she walked out of the meeting. She actually basically told their attorney to go pound sand because they were trying to work on a development agreement, and the attorney was just blowing her off.
What about that town in Dane County that was going to the appeals court? Christiana.
That's still in process. I contacted them, but I haven't heard back. They haven't responded.
Because last I heard, they were taken to the appeals.
Yeah, well, that's involving some illegal activities done by NextEra that weren't above board. Let's put it that way. Payments made to another company that were done outside of the agreements.
Okay, is there any, this question's for everybody on the committee, is there any, aside from sending out the postcards about the hearing, is there any other actions that this committee needs to take before we get there?
Committee?
You were talking about making some questions up.
Yeah, we were talking about being organized. Didn't you say Stan was maybe going to do that?
The testimonies?
Well, for
that's all the
December 3rd, and
testimonies,
you
yeah.
wanted to have individuals.
Well, I'll find out what the procedure is. It might be.
We don't want to have a madhouse.
No.
And we want to get
people
on the
shouting.
list first, so we can all have a scripted question.
Right, that, because we were talking about scripted questions. That's what
Right, we don't, right, you don't want to have people repeatedly, we have individuals and certain questions to be answered,
Yeah.
and
I don't know that the procedure there yet, so I don't know if they tell us how it's going to be handled or if we just go in there with our own speeches. I don't know yet.
And there's some we're not going to have control of, because.
Yeah.
well, let me ask you this question here. If they're going to have a meeting, did these other towns have their meetings already with the PSC so we can get a heads up on the game plan?
How it happened, yeah.
I would say
I mean,
only if they were in the process that we're doing. Otherwise,
Right,
no.
but there's other towns that are ahead of us in the process, or about,
But
you
they
know,
have to be objection. They have to have objection to the process.
Saratoga didn't.
If they've
file it.
signed off on it, like Saratoga, no, they wouldn't have had one. They would have just signed off and here's do the
all right,
JDA and they're done.
Morgan, are they ahead of us in the process?
No, they're behind us.
Oh, behind us, okay.
But she is
'Cause
talking
I'm
about
thinking
it.
we need to have a game plan here. You hate to go in blind.
Well, we don't know yet, so we don't know the process.
All right.
Well, Stan needs to tell us, I'm sure he's gone through these before, if he's representing all the other towns. He needs to tell us how that hearing is gonna go. And does it just become a madhouse, it's open for comment, or is there a list of people that wanna ask questions, or how does that happen? And then we can all, maybe for next meeting, come up with
That's what I'm
a
thinking.
question. I would like to ask, is the PSC aware that the Wisconsin DNR has taken very large contributions by solar farms?
Well, they got some
They're either
change.
gonna say yes or no.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the more organized we are, I think that should be the thing for the next meeting.
Right.
If we all come with questions and we talk about which questions we want to share.
Right.
So is it gonna be a question and answer?
We don't know, Lori.
No.
They can't,
It is
they can't
pu- there
devise
is
a plan
public
if you don't
input,
know what the
so.
game is.
Exactly,
There is public input, so
right.
If
whatever
it's
that
just
means.
to make a complaint, then they're just gonna sit there and sit through it until they're done, say, okay, we're done.
Correct.
And they have two different meetings, so I gotta believe they're gonna be exactly the same structure, but
So I'm just reading about protocol and PSC hearings. There is a set protocol, when you, and I had read about some of this before, but when you, it's basically held like a court, right? So you will go up, you will provide the docket number, right, and give your statement or testimony. You are subject to being asked questions then at that point. So probably it's prudent to have Stan be the person who ask the majority of those questions.
Yeah, he says he usually,
By his legal response.
he said he usually doesn't attend these because they are the public hearings, but I told him, I said, no, we prefer to have you there,
Yeah.
so.
No, it's not a madhouse. You can't just run up there, and there is a set protocol on how they hold their hearings, so.
So
Well,
we
the
need to
PSC
understand how
is
we get on the, how we get on that list. Are we asking a question or are we making a statement?
And then again, what if it's timed? What if you got 3 minutes? You can't really say much in 3 minutes.
I can.
Or is it, or
Guys
is
that get
it,
paid to do a whole lot more than I'll do drug commercials.
to give them information, you know, I guess what the purpose is too, is it to make sure they have information they don't have? Or is it
Well,
for?
reinforce.
So-
Exactly.
So for those who want to intervene, become a party to this, you have to submit a written request to the administrative law judge, and I'm sure Stan will, or has already done that. And then.
With everybody that's
He's
speaking?
probably, well, I don't know.
We've got
That's-
1,700
that's
signatures for him.
definitely a Stan question. I mean, I would say if it's
Yeah.
that many people, then anybody who would want to speak directly, if that's the procedure, they're gonna have to do that.
They don't film these, do
Stan
they?
can do that on behalf of everybody. Do they film it? I don't know.
They might record it,
If
but
they
it
did,
won't.
we could go look at one and see exactly what happens. I mean, right now, we're just kind of blind. We don't know.
Yeah, but see, do we have access at the community center in Nakusa to film it? Unless we ask them to film it and give us a copy of it. That,
Right now.
They may not even have the proper audio stuff for a meeting like that.
We will, not by then.
I know, but we're not going to be dragging everything over there.
No, we're not. But I mean, they may not, and that's another thing. They didn't probably check into it.
Want to see it all? You
Hold
need
on.
a car that can go the distance.
Sorry, it's commercial.
The Subaru Forester Hybrid.
Of course.
Chair Strand, I am joining virtually today because of a family health emergency. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate everyone's flexibility with me and also thank my colleagues for their willingness to lead discussions today. And I need to thank everyone who reached out to me and my family. It's much appreciated. Announcement before we get started. I do want to share that longtime PSC employee Mike Wirtzenlaw is retiring very soon. I believe that Mike is listening virtually with us today, so I just want to thank Mike for his 41 years, oh my goodness, of service, and wish him all the best.
This is a meeting from 9:25. I don't know what it was.
This is a PSC meeting, Karen,
This is.
but I see more than 3 people there.
He will be greatly missed. So that's just Mike, and thank you.
Well, some of it's gonna
With
be.
that, I would like to call to order the open meeting for Thursday, September 25th, 2025. And I will now ask the Commission Secretary for information on today's agenda.
Each commissioner has independently reviewed the minutes of the open meeting of Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and each has informed me there is no need to discuss those minutes.
I move we approve the minutes of the open meeting of Thursday, September 18, 2025.
All in favor?
This is one of their commission meetings, so it's not a hearing,
Each
but
commissioner has independently reviewed the
I don't know
agenda
which ones are the actual commissioners.
to discuss the notices.
But I'm guessing the other.
There's 2 women and one man.
So I'm guessing him and maybe these two.
I'm thinking it's the guy to her left. That guy.
This one. I think he is
In favor?
I think he was reading off minutes or secretarial stuff before. So I think these people on the end are probably
7 through 10.
secretaries, but let me see if I can find one that is.
Well, I brought pictures of them the last time. They're all really young.
Let's see if I can find one that's actually
Thank you.
actual
That
hearing.
brings us to our first discussion.
This is one of their commission meetings. What I did is I just,
Now, was this down in Madison?
I don't know, it must be because it's one of their commission hearings. I just Googled,
one too, that
I don't think I had a picture of the guy.
trying to figure out what
Think
this
I only
one
got
is. Commission meetings. I'm looking at other meetings too, and they're called commission meeting.
Here's some hearings, find one that's related to. See if I can find one that's actually about. Certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a wind farm, this one looks like, so it's probably as close as I can find right off the bat. This is, from
Oh, I must not have saved those.
Let's say, but,
Well, there was one in Whitewater on July 9th. If you can find that one.
was there?
That's
For
joined by
solar?
video. Well, I just found the article, but I don't have the video.
Started their meeting and don't know. There's no way this, video will be in the corner. You can't make that large, and this is what they have up on screen in their screen share. They're not putting themselves up on the screen.
Marcus Hawkins, Christy Nito, and Summer Strand.
Of those filings that you've already received, rather than asking questions about what's already there and presented, and already in evidence. So if there's an issue or fact that's already been
So this
Yeah,
guy
she
up in
was
the
in
corner is for
My ass.
Badger Hollow.
Sorry, my ass not part of that.
If you want to challenge those facts or seek clarification of those facts, that's fine, but let's start with the facts.
Not partisan.
Okay, then.
Anybody that works in Madison.
What I could do for anybody that wants a, just so we're not wasting time, for anybody that wants me to email this link to them, I'll email it to you and then you can watch it and kind of see how does a public hearing go with the PSC. Keeping in mind, this is about a wind farm, and I don't know if this is objectionable or not, right? But you would at least kind of see some of the process or the procedure that they have to go through. But there is there is set criteria, there is a format, it's just like any other public hearing. So you were in a public hearing last night, right? So there is a set format that has to be followed, where the public does have that time to speak. It's probably a lot more rigid than what went on here last night, right? Somebody comes up, they give their name, their address, docket number of the case that PSC has for us, and then they speak whatever in their prepared statement or whatever, so.
Then we should probably, once we find that out, once we find out how that meeting is gonna go, who can talk and how they're gonna talk and what they're supposed to say, we should include that in the postcard, because if 300 or 400 people are gonna show up all thinking that they can grab the mic and say whatever they want to, that's not gonna go well.
And there probably will be, I'll say, will be a sign up. I don't know if that has to come before the meeting. It certainly, I think, public can just show up. Like somebody had asked last night, is there a sign up sheet? Do we have a sign up sheet? Well, typically, yes, in a public hearing, there should be something where you can sign up. That gets handed to whoever's conducting that meeting, and then they can go down the list. Now, that might be something that, Stan would be looking for ahead of time. That to the administrative law judge. I don't
Yeah.
know, I mean, their procedures are gonna be a whole lot more rigid than what we had here last
Yeah, last
night.
night, sure.
But it is a public hearing where the public has a right to.
But the hearing is being conducted by an ALJ and not the PSC, or is it the PSC with an ALJ,
Well,
What's an
I mean,
ALJ?
that's,
administrative law judge?
it's a public hearing, and it's treated like, you're sitting in court, but it's not court, so.
Well, that's why I just think that if we have time, we have to be organized either with our most pertinent, our most important questions, or getting it on public record that the PSC hears our biggest concerns, and, our
Yeah, I mean, if there's a, let me know and I'll take your email addresses at the end of all of this, and I can send you a link to this one.
Yeah,
So you can
I'd
at
like
least
to.
watch this
Yep.
and see how it goes, and then that might help you look up some other ones just to see what.
You could send it to the whole committee if you want. You probably have,
that's true.
Yeah, I think I can grab the.
you probably have a
Gotta
group
make a
somewhere.
suggestion, though, when we talk about our concerns, maybe have one person really hone in on one
Right.
idea. I mean, just hammer it. Like, again, the battery storage, that's a huge one. The other one, too, is they're taking 30% of our open hunting lands. The NFL open hunting's gone. There's a lot of big things. Maybe we come up with a whole list of those items, and then people, you feel comfortable hitting those particular points.
So if everybody would be so kind, in the next meeting, we should come with a question, statement, or concern that you would like to have included in whatever we are able to present. Even though we don't know exactly how we're gonna do it, we should be prepared to do that.
I just sent a note to Stan and gave him an update, where are we at, and protocol, and blah, blah, blah. So,
How do members of the committee get on the list to, and are we just basically testifying to what, or do we have questions, or are we questioning the PSC?
Wouldn't it behoove us to have Stan attend one of these meetings via Zoom so he can fill us in on the whole process, and what's gonna happen
If there's one between now and December, sure. If there's not one,
on one of our meetings?
Yes.
And come via, we're asking a lot of questions we don't. Stan probably knows the answers, what the process is gonna entail, what he'd like to see.
Yep.
I think he'd be
He'd be willing, do you think, to come to one of our meetings?
we'll do it
on Zoom.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're all making statements, we're going to be professional, we're going to be calm.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be emotional, we're gonna be prepared to do the right thing, to say the right thing, ask or tell, whichever are we asking or are we telling? And then we'll be prepared for a better presentation at that hearing, as opposed to, saber rattling and, somebody getting up there.
And again, another thing about if you're gonna hit one particular subject, go back to the testimony from the Nextera experts and just know exactly what they're saying. Just understand word for word what they're talking about. Read that thing, 5 times, so you know where they're coming from. So because they'll come back and say something different, but you want to be able to be very informative of what they're saying or trying to put across, and just be able to refute anything they say. I mean, a lot of it's open for. Yeah, a lot of it's.
I was thinking that I think, Cindy, you mentioned script. Okay, I understand following through on a bullet point, but I also, I take this from the theater group. You have to know exactly what you're doing and anticipate what they're going to come back with. So if I come back and I make a comment, well, we're losing all this hunting ground, and they come back with a counterpoint, I don't want to sit there with I don't want to say that word. I don't want to sit there and not know how to answer. Do you follow what I'm saying? I want to have point counterpoint, and it's like a debate team. You can't just sit back and just read a script, and if they throw you off the script, you better be able to know how to improvise. And I don't want us looking like fools up there. And some of us get nervous in front of a crowd. I don't know, how many people do not like to act or speak in front of a crowd. That might not be the right person to talk.
This is a public hearing. I don't believe it's a debate. I don't think.
Yeah, but you're in front of people.
I don't think they're going to have the option to refute anything we say. This is the public hearing for the residents. I don't think they're even, they may not even be invited to this, but I'll verify with Stan, but I'd be willing to bet they will not be able to refute anything we say.
They'll have a spy there.
And like I say, you're talking about questions, but always anticipate the counterpoint.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. Read through their statements so you know exactly where they're coming from.
And that's why I say, if you're going to do something, get ready for it.
Yeah.
And have the answer right there. Always know what your opponent's going to come to you with. That's why I like to play.
So who is going to be, so if that's the way the setup is, so the PSC, the 3 PSC commissioners are going to be here. And then they're going to have like an attorney with them or something?
No idea.
You don't know.
Well, we got maybe 2 weekends or two more meetings.
Well, this is the 4th. We got a month.
Well, yeah, but you got the week of Thanksgiving in there, which probably.
Well, we can bring turkey to the meeting. I'll have a lot of leftover. You can't do too much Italian style on turkeys.
You stuff it with noodles or something? Or?
Not oregano.
No spaghetti sauce or oregano on the turkey. I'll be giving it away.
I don't think anybody's going to be flying anywhere right now. They don't get the government back open, we're all in trouble. Okay, let's talk about, is there anybody else that has anything they want to say, or we'll talk about next meeting? When do we want to meet next? And I guess, Carl, we'd like to have some answers from Stan back on all the stuff.
Yeah, he's usually pretty good, and he said call him anytime, but we'll see.
Now, next week going to be kind of busy.
Well, you said we got all these weeks.
Hey, we got to do it, pal. I mean, we got we got the budget thing on the 11th, Carl, right?
13th.
13th.
Veterans Day on the 11th.
You and I and I got my wife to invite the next day.
So are we?
How about Friday the 13th? Anyone feel lucky?
Well, Thursday.
Thursday is the 13th.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't do it on Thursday because we got the budget and we got it's gonna be a
Well,
big.
we need to do it in the morning because my better
we can
time
do
is
it.
in the
I mean,
afternoon. So
any day is good for me.
gotta have our priority. Comes once a year. It's almost like Christmas.
There you go. It's so I guess we have to look at the goal for the next meeting. We want to, so do we need to find out when Stan would be available?
Available? No. My suggestion would be pick a subject that you think comfortable with. Come in with all the subjects
Okay.
we think we ought to present. I'll talk to them in the meantime, one way or the other.
Okay. So for the next meeting, pick a subject that we think that we would like to talk about.
Each person,
yeah,
yes.
I would say, yeah.
What if we all have the same subject and we all?
Okay.
Okay,
Number 1, number 2, whatever.
okay,
Then we'll have an ad hoc discussion.
There you go.
Ad hoc committee.
there you go. So we'll have, so if everybody next week, or when we meet, comes up with 2 key items that you feel comfortable researching, looking at the testimonies, looking at what they're saying, looking through the big document, and, like you said, anticipating what they might say.
Well, right now the 13th is open, or no?
They said no, I thought.
Yeah, it's open.
Oh, it is open.
Okay, so
13th is good for me in the morning, or?
so how about
No, just check the room, but.
about like 10 o'clock in the morning?
I take my dad to the doctor at 11:45, so. I can do 9.
You
Nine's
guys
good.
meet at 9?
As long as it's not 8, right?
Oh, wait, the 13th.
Okay, 9 o'clock on the
Thursday.
13th, anybody?
I'd be meeting
I've
that
got
on the
another
30th.
meeting at
Okay.
9.
Well, yeah.
How far
that's
is
fine.
it? How far a drive is it? You said-
Point.
So how about
So we,
And I won't be able to make it. Sue's having surgery the day before.
On the 12th?
Yeah. I gotta be, go for her husband.
You could put her in bed for an hour and say, I'll be
You're-
right back.
Are you kidding? I'll be divorced. I gotta cater to her.
I've got another
Monday,
meeting
Tuesday,
that
whatever.
day,
I
too.
mean,
Yeah, Monday,
I've got a meeting
Tuesday.
that day too. so-
And Jess can't make it on the 13th. She just said.
Okay, well then what about Monday or Tuesday? Anybody open for that day, or?
Yeah.
Tuesday, what
Tuesday's
day?
good.
What's the date?
The
Say the
11th.
11th.
Well, the 11th is Veteran Day, so I don't think this might be
Oh.
full.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
we got, yeah, it'll be tied up.
So you'd have to do Monday.
Oh, that's right. They're gonna have the veterans dinner. Yeah, we can't. They'll have the veterans, so we
Well then,
can't.
well, how much, well, are we gonna be, I guess we have to look at two, do we meet once or twice? Because the 3rd is on that Wednesday. So, do we want to meet like Monday the 10th, Monday the 17th? Do we want to meet?
Why not the 10th? I mean, we're just gonna get it.
Is that a Monday?
Monday, that's this coming Monday. Are you free, Jess, on Monday?
Yes, on
Ted,
Monday.
are you free on Monday, pre-surgery?
What time on a Monday?
We could do,
Good morning.
Because I know I got to have a lab test on Monday that day, so that'll be at 9 o'clock at Aspirus, and all they do is taking blood.
we're
So
open at 7:30 at Spires.
I know, but you have to have appointments. You know how they are over there.
Yep.
So I think it was
So
at 9
10
o'clock.
o'clock? So, yeah, you just.
That's fine, I mean-
Okay, how about 10 o'clock on, 10 on the 10th?
On what time?
We're gonna find out, Carl.
Okay.
Yeah, next Monday.
10 o'clock on Monday the 10th.
Don't see anything on.
Monday's wide open.
Okay, so 10 o'clock on
Well,
Monday,
it
you
is for
guys?
right now, like last time.
All right, November 10th, Monday,
10 a.m.
at 10 o'clock.
Calendar.
I got it on here. We'll see how that goes.
Well, today it was just a fluke because I think, Lori, you went to check to see if the room was open. By the time you checked and by the time we actually got on the calendar, someone else would have.
That was audio thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're gonna be happy with what we think we're gonna get. So
Good.
wow, this guy is sharp.
Okay, so the next
Okay.
meeting is next Monday, the 10th of November at 10 a.m.
Okay,
And the room is booked right now. Just did it.
it is now.
Okay,
But I will let Wendy know to make sure she knows.
okay.
Okay, we're good.
Well, I'll give her the minutes too, she'll know from that. So,
Okay,
I'll adjourn it.
need a motion to adjourn? Mark,
Yes.
second?
I second that.
Or Vito will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks,
Aye,
everybody.
aye, aye.
Mark, you're starting to be like me over there. You're starting
I
to be like
figured that
me.
was.
I gotta get to county.